brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team and powered by your favorite broker, our favorite broker, Okta. During this session, we're going to be looking at a few currency pairs, and then we're going to be checking out the analysis on them and how we're going to be trading them for the remaining part of the week. But just before we proceed, we want you to share the link to this market color with as many people as possible using the link that will be provided to you in the chat box. Share it with your friends, your family, anyone who you know is interested in Forex, or to any group, whether on Facebook, on Instagram, on Telegram, anywhere where you know Forex related issues are discussed, so that many more people, just like yourself, will be able to take advantage of it. So we're going to have a 30 seconds break so that you can share the link. And when we return, we're going to be starting off with the dollar index analysis. Okay, welcome back, welcome back. So we're going to be proceeding straight to the analysis for the dollar index. Now looking at okay, so looking at the dollar index from the monthly perspective, we're seeing that the dollar index is failing to break new highs during this month, right? And overall, we still remember we are bullish, okay, but we've not seen the dollar index create a new high recently. So we are stuck within this range, and we'll be expecting the dollar index to break out of it. Let's look at the weekly time frame to gain more perspective on what is going on with the dollar index. Now, looking at the weekly time frame, we can see that the weekly time frame has retraced very deeply into this origin of the whole move to the upside, and we may be seeing some rejection from that level. We've been seeing signs of that rejection, but the weekly time frame is also stalling because there's no signs of forward movement or backward movement. So we're seeing that the weekly time frame is losing its momentum for the sell, and then there's still no momentum for the buy, so it's stopped within this range. We're expecting it to trade out of it so that we can have clear direction on where the weekly time frame would want to trade. So far in the previous weeks, about 4 weeks now, we've been seeing this retracement on the dollar index. Now, looking at it overall, based on this original swing that created this upside movement, price has tested 78.6 level. There's also tested 61.8 level. Now it's currently at 38.6. 38.2 level, and we want to see where price is going to from here. Okay, so let's check the daily time frame for more data on the dollar index. Now, looking at the daily time frame, price is clearly broken structure to the downside. We'll see microstructure to the downside, even though the original structure, which is from here to here, still remains intact. So let me show you where that original structure started from. So the original structure from here all the way to this place, from here all the way here. Okay, so that is the original structure. Price hasn't traded away from it yet, so we're still looking at the dollar index as a bullish swing on the daily time frame. We'd want to see it break out of these levels before we now conclude on the direction of the dollar index. So for now, price is stalling within that range, so we want to see it break out. Okay, now what are we expecting to happen this week? First, we're expecting it to either break out of this level to the downside or continue trading above. So these are the two things we want to see. Either this level causes a reaction on the dollar index in terms of the resumption of the bullish trend, that is from here. Okay, this whole order block is either it causes the reaction that would start off the bullish trend to the upside, or price is going to break this low to the downside. So one of these two things has to happen this week so that we'll have a clear direction. I didn't say must, I say has to happen this week so that we'll have a clear direction on the dollar index. So the dollar index is in a bit of a tricky situation right now. We would want to be patient to see what happens with the dollar index going forward. Now let's get more data on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so this is the 4-hour time frame. We've seen the first reaction from this order block on the 4-hour time frame, where price even came down all the way to this 4-hour order block right here. Okay, so this order block right here was the target for price when it was trading to the downside. Now we've seen how price rejected immediately, it tapped into this level. So I'm still looking at the dollar index from the daily time frame perspective in terms of direction. I'm seeing it as bullish. All this has been a retracement, very deep retracement to say. We're expecting that the dollar index from here would be moving to the upside. Okay. Now, for today, I'm expecting this resumption to continue. I want to see the 1-hour time frame and other smaller time frames start correcting. Okay, I want to see dollar index break these new highs on the 1-hour time frame and then continue trading above. If not, then we'll be seeing it coming down all the way to clear this low. Okay, so today being Monday, I would like to sit on my hands and watch what the dollar index is doing so that I will not be the first to get his hands burnt in this market. So I would want to see the dollar index trade above here or trade below to take out that low. So that is what I'll be doing on the dollar index. So for this week, we're expecting that the dollar index is going to resume its upward trend from here all the way to take out these highs and continue trading above. So this is what we're expecting the dollar index to do this week. Okay, just trade higher and then continue the bullish trend. If it doesn't do that, then we'll be seeing it break out from this level. But I'm more in on the bullish trend until I see price break out this low before I change my bias for a sell. Okay, so that is that for the dollar index. Now let's look at Euro USD. Of course, we're going to start from the weekly time frame to gain clear perspective on Euro USD. All right, so on Euro USD, we see that on the weekly time frame, we are clearly bearish. All that has been happening so far has been a retracement of this last swing to the downside, and it has been a very deep retracement. Okay, so let's look at the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame, we're seeing that price retraced deeply into this last swing and then even took out this high but didn't close above it. So this is kind of a signal that what happened here looked like stop hunt, right? Looked like a stop hunt move, because if price indeed wanted to break structure, we need to see candle close above. But what happened was that price traded immediately, it got above this level, it had to reject off from that level almost immediately, showing signs that all that happened right here has just been a stop hunt. Okay, and we are waiting to see if the Euro USD is going to start going downwards. We need to look at the 4-hour time frame to get that confirmation for the Euro USD. Now, seeing the last swing on Euro USD, I want to start seeing price on the 4-hour time frame break below. I want to start seeing price break below on the 4-hour time frame. And if that should happen, then I'll be willing to continue shorting Euro USD to take out all this diagonal liquidity that resides right here. So for Euro USD, I would want to wait and see break of structure to the downside before I start selling. If not, I'll just sit on my hands, because I would not want to buy from this place. Reason why I would not want to buy from here is that this is already at premium based on premium discount array, and it's not advisable to buy from discount. So I would want to sell instead from a discount level. If I want to buy, I would rather wait for price to give me some discount before I buy. So because price is at premium, I'm not interested in a buy. I'm looking out for more of the sales. So before I take my sell, I would want to see Euro USD start breaking structure to the downside. This is the 1 hour time frame, and these are the structures I want to see Euro USD take out. Okay, either of these two, I want to see Euro USD take them out so that I can start selling. Okay, so any level from now where Euro USD takes out these two, I would start selling Euro USD from these levels. Okay, so that is that on Euro USD. Now for GBP USD. Now I have very similar bias for GBP USD, just like on Euro USD, but we're going to start analyzing from the weekly time frame, of course. Very similar thing to what we have on Euro USD. There was a clear break of structure right here, and price started selling. After selling, we're seeing a retracement back to this swing. Okay, so after retracement from this swing, we're expecting price to continue selling to the downside. Look at this other block on the weekly that price retraced into, just for reference purposes. So we're seeing that price came back to this other block to retest it, and afterwards, we're expecting that price is going to start selling off from this level. So let's take a look at the daily time frame so that we can see possibilities for the trades we're looking out for. Now, very similar thing to what happened on Euro USD. Price traded to this level, but didn't even close above here. It just wicked a little above it, but didn't close above this high. So it's showing us that this may also be a sign of stop hunt, as we all call it. So we're expecting that after now, price will resume its downtrend, but we'll need confirmation from the hourly time frame, the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So we're going to start from the 4 hours. Now, the 4 hour time frame, very obvious level I want to see price break out of first before I start selling is this guy here. I want to see price break out of this low before I start selling. If not, then we'll be looking out for more buys when price breaks above this high and closes right above it. Okay, so I would only be buying GBP US if price breaks above this high and closes above it. Then in any retracement, I'll continue buying. If not, I'll be looking out for the sell when price breaks out of this low to the downside. So in summary, I'm sitting on my hands for GBP USD until price breaks below here for me to start selling, or closes above here for me to start buying. Okay, however, we know from the higher time frame, GBP USD is in a clear bearish trend. All that is happening is a retracement. The retracement may be very deep all the way to this level right here. Okay, so I still have my eyes on this high right here. Okay, as the last liquidity sweep before the whole sale happened. It was the last liquidity that was built before this whole sale happened. So I'm still looking at this. If price closes above this high right here, if price closes above 1.27131 and then gives me any retracement, I'll be willing to buy GBP USD all the way to 1.28243. But if it doesn't, and then instead goes ahead to break structure to the downside of this level, then I'll be willing to sell it all the way to this other block right here. Okay, so this is the other block. All right, so this is where I'm looking to sell GBP USD to from here. From this level where it is, when it breaks this low all the way to this downside. This is what I'm looking out for on GBP USD. Okay, so let's take a look at the Forex calendar for this week so that we know what we're expecting from the market. Okay, so most banks are going to be having bank holiday today, so we may see very choppy price action as most banks are in Europe, mostly around the Eurozone. They are all having their wheat Monday. All right. If you don't know what that means, just know that banks are on holiday. Okay. So most banks are experiencing they're observing their wheat Monday. And we may see choppy price action as a result of retailers being in the market. It's happening in Europe, in Switzerland, and then I think also in Canada, they're having something very similar to the wheat holiday in Canada. So most banks are closed for that. But then GBP and USD, they are clear off the bank holiday, so they're very active for this week. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be expecting CPI from the Canadian dollar, and as at that period, we're going to be analyzing the commodity currencies, and we're going to give you a clear breakdown on the impact of the CPI on the market. Okay, Then on Wednesday, we're going to be having cash rates from New Zealand. We're going to also give you a breakdown on that. Then CPI for GBP on Wednesday. Then we're going to have PMIs on Thursday from Europe and also from GBP, also from the US. All major currencies are releasing their PMIs on Thursday. And then for Friday, we're having retail sales from GBP and also University of Michigan consumer sentiment on Wednesday. So we should take note of all these dates. They are not the major high impact news like you all know, but then they will have some impact on the market. So you should be aware of what they can do in the market and how to trade cautiously when trading any pair related to any of these high impact news that will be released. Okay, so that will be all for now. We're going to take a short break, and when we resume, we're going to be analyzing gold as relative to the other precious metals. Then we're going to be analyzing the yen basket so that we can have a broader and overall view on yen-related currencies. We're going to also touch a few of them. Then we're going to take commentaries, questions, and then we'll take further announcements if there are any. Thank you very much for joining today's Market Color. In 30 seconds, we're going to resume and analyzing gold, right?
Everyone, welcome back to the top-down analysis brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team and powered by our preferred broker, Okta. Right about now, we're going into analysis of the precious metal and looking at it from the daily time frame. What are we seeing on the daily time frame? Just let me know in the chat box if you can see my screen and if we are good to go. All right, thank you so much. Okay. So on the precious metal, if you see, let's quickly take a look at it from the weekly time frame. Now, like we've established the fact since last week that on the weekly time frame, the precious metal has been in a very strong buy move, and it's been trending so far. However, this morning we've seen how it's cleared the all-time high again of the 8th of April 2024, which is the 2431.55 level, cleared it up again this morning and created a new high. And that's a really big concern to us, particularly looking at what the DSY is also doing. And right now, if you look at it, even on the daily time frame, it's still confirming that it's very much bullish. And, you know, our boss strategy, we were looking to short it somewhere around this place, sometimes 2 weeks ago, and even into last week. When we see the boss pattern around this level here, last week, you see the shoulder, you see the sweep, and you can see the break to the downside and price reacting to the downside. However, price just get there, did a little retracement, this daily time frame, and resume its uptrend again. And into the new week, you can see price is now in its new, you know, price discovery again. Now, if you are seeing that on the daily time frame, that is giving us a clear confirmation that the precious metal is strongly bullish for the week, even right since we've been seeing it on the weekly, monthly, and even daily time frame. So if you come to the 4-hour time frame too, there's also that confirmation there. So if you want to short the precious metal right now, we would advise just look for opportunity to buy the precious metal. And if you intend to short until you see clear break of market structure shifts on the 1-hour time frame particularly, or even 4 hours, that's when we should look out to short the precious metal. Now, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we've not seen any clear break of market structure, everything is still strongly bullish to the upside. So if we are looking at the bullish move to the upside, where do we intend to buy then if we are looking at the bullish move to the upside? Now on the 1 hour time frame, we've not really seen a clear, okay, this is looking more like it, but it's not really that much clear. How we see price, clear all this low and give a bullish move to the upside, which means, and we can see this particular region is also a confluence of the boss strategy on daily time frame that fails. So like we've always said, if the boss strategy fails, it's simply telling us that price is still coming down to that particular level, then it's going to form a new support. That place should form a new support in a scenario of when we are looking at sell opportunity. So this is the zone we mark on the daily time frame, meaning if price comes back to around this particular level here, we should look for opportunity to long the precious metal again. And we all can see that. You can see how price, sweep these equal lows here and a forceful move to the upside. Now let's come to the lower time frame if we can see anything for the odds in the market today. Now looking at lower time frame, you can see everything is still very much bullish, very, very bullish, all the way to the upside. So until we begin to see a clear market structure shift, then that is going to give us a new direction on the precious metal. If we did not, the bias to remain a bullish trend. And that means you should just wait and see your entry signature using the boss strategy to take your entry for the bullish move on the precious metal. Now let's quickly take a look at what is going on the Japanese yen basket. Now this is the weekly time frame of the Japanese yen, and if we come down a bit, it's very much bearish on the weekly time frame. Now on the daily time frame, we can see what is really happening there. Last week, our projection was that price should come into this order block, then begin to rally all the way to the upside. However, we see what price did there. Price got there and sat inside the order block until it clears it again to the downside a bit. You can see these two candle closes below the order block to the downside. But there's something on the 4-hour time frame. If we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you can see why we see price, come all the way into that level. This is a fair value gap here with the other block here, and you see this rejection candle to the upside. Now, if you measure the fair value gap, just draw it there. So that it was where price actually came into tap last week. But the bias for yen still remains, is still very much bearish if you look at it on the higher time frame. However, on the 4-hour time frame, you can see a market structure shift to the upside. But if price cleared this low again a bit, then we know it's totally down. But we are expecting some level of reaction here in this particular zone, and that is what we are seeing currently now to the upside. Now, if this level holds, where is the precious metal actually going to? Then we are going to see that on the daily time frame. The daily time frame, you can see how there is much liquidity at the top here. You can see that. So if price is going to react from this level, then we expect it to come all the way to clear liquidity at this zone here. We all can see that. So there's liquidity residing here, and our boss strategy on the daily time frame of the yen basket, you can see this is another one somewhere around this place. So that is what we expect the yen basket to do if the reaction is going to happen here on the 4-hour time frame. Then we expect it to rally all the way to the upside to the POI retrieve on that daily time frame to clear liquidity and also to tap into that shoulder before anything continues to move forward. So in relation to that, let's quickly look at GJ to see what is actually happening on GJ2. Now on GJ, we've already seen what price has been doing. It rallied all the way after the long sell to the downside that time. So it rallied all the way back into that zone. But if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame, you are going to see there are some things going on the 1-hour time frame. Great. This is it here. So there's this fair value gap here. And if we try to draw that and expand it all the way to where price is recently now, it's been a long time that myself and CJ has been looking at this fair value gap, how this is an IOFED, how price is expected to come into that zone, then before we see any reaction to the other side. And we can see what price has been doing with it for a long period of time now. And that is it. We've not seen price really tapped into it right now. It's just trying to test it, but it has not really entered into that zone. So if price is going to do that, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, if price is going to enter into this zone, then we should look out for it then when we begin to see market structure shift on the lower time frame, like 1 hour or 15 minutes, then we can easily decide to short it, provided we see the same thing happening on the yen basket. Now, what do we want to see on the yen basket if we want to short GJ? We want to see the yen basket rallying to the upside to go and clear liquidity where we already marked there before we start shorting GJ. So that is going to be the analysis for the Japanese yen and its other correlated here this morning. If there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let's quickly go through it before we call it a day. Good morning, sir.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Great presentation so far. I wanted us to focus on the gold box pattern failure, box strategy failure. I don't know if you can show that to us. One of the reasons why, good morning, everyone. One of the strategy, the box pattern so much. Not only does it tell you for reversals, strategy, also a strategy for trend control. Does price move and ranges and goes back to where it's coming from, continues and box pattern can be very for showing you how to identify this. If you can't hear me, please let me know. If you can't hear me, please let me know. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, please type I hear or put fire emoji or just put something. Let me know that you can hear me. Wow, my voice is breaking. Okay, let me see. Everyone is complaining. I'm coming, please let me restart my...
Sorry for the break. It's going to join us soon. Just please give us a very brief time. It's going to join us back as soon as possible. So if there's any question as it joins us, just type in the chat box, let's know. And before you join us,
Can you all hear me?
Okay, welcome back, sir.
Now?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I was box pattern. One of the reasons why we tell people to try to understand the box pattern is because it's on the box pattern that you have drawn for us, Lekon. It's very good for showing you reversals. It's also good for showing you continuation. When price is going to reverse and make a U-turn, the box pattern shows you. And when the box pattern fails, it also shows you that price will most likely continue moving up. So let's look at this. Let's look at this because now we're in very strong trends. Almost everything is trending in one backs or ranges. It's just moving. See this? That's our shoulder there. A shoulder is if the price is an uptrend. A sweep means price goes, there's the liquidity above the shoulder, and then So that's it there. Then we have our fair value gap. So fair value gap, let's draw that fair value gap or zoom. And price is supposed to extend into that fair value gap of it between the fair value gap and the shoulder. That's where price is supposed to go, 50% of it. Tap into that and come down, right? So if we now observe that price, that fair value gap. So the fair value gap is supposed to be some sort of stopper. Morning star there, you can see another block there. You can see a failed fair value gap. So where is the place where price was supposed to hold? Who can mark that place for us? Where should be equal? If the box structure, Lekon, can you mark it up for us?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. It's breaking. I can't hear you well.
This is bad. I don't know why network is this way. I don't know why network is this way this morning. I've restarted my, but it's still, we may have to. I said based on box pattern, where is the level? Where are the levels we expected price to reverse?
Okay.
Where are the levels we expected price to reverse? I said based on box pattern, where are the levels we expected price to reverse? Inside the FVG or at the order block? These are different levels that should have held and stayed as resistance. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Can you hear me now? Exactly. So there are different levels within that box strategy. We identify, if you can read, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I can go back to talking?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay, okay, fantastic. So I was saying that when you draw the box pattern, you look at the potential levels where price should reverse. What are some of those potential levels? The fair value gap, 50% of it. The left shoulder. The order block before the momentum breakout. The stopper shocker. The evening star. These are the levels where you expect price to reverse. So once those levels get broken, and if you notice, when price got to that level, what happened? When price got to the area of interest, the point of interest, swept the inducement, went all the way back up. So where is the place where the sellers should have taken over and brought price down? That entire region. So you zoom into that region now. And that becomes our area of interest. It is that whole region that we don't expect price to break above. We don't expect price because that's where the sellers are. And what did we now see happen to the sellers? The sellers tried to take over. What happened? Boom. The sellers tried again to take over. What happened? Boom. So where will our possible entries have been? if you notice, there is another sweep, another shoulder that was formed, another shoulder that was formed, and price went up, which should have been another sweep. But now, instead of the sweep to come back into the range, what did the sweep do?
Broke out.
It broke up. So at which point, let's see that price action now on the 1 hour, that whole region. So this is one of the reasons why I say focusing on the box strategy, especially when you see it on a higher time frame, can be very powerful. It can be very powerful. It can be very, so can you see all the places? All the potential regions. So where box failed, broke to the upside. Can you now see flip zones? Can you now, someone can look and say, this is in hindsight. It's true, it's in hindsight. But it doesn't change the fact that these patterns are there. Whether it's in hindsight or not, they are there. So where do you see box pattern failures on a smaller time frame? On this 1 hour now, where is a box pattern failure? Where is a shoulder? After the break to the upside, because now we're trying to, where do you see a shoulder? Zoom in a bit, please. Let's see later. Where do you see a shoulder? Above that new high, that's a shoulder. Thank you. Where do you see a sweep? That's a sweep. Where do you see a break of structure to the downside? Thank you. Mark that shoulder, please. Mark that shoulder. Mark that shoulder. All right. Where do you see a return to the shoulder or to a fair value gap? Somewhere there. At which point did that place break and the box pattern fail again? So do you see where our potential entry would have been? Anything between 2390 and 2410. So after it broke that level, obviously we're in a buy trend. Now, where your cursor is, where is another box pattern there? Shoulder sweep. Where is another box pattern? Shoulder. That's the sweep. The red candle is the sweep. But what happened again? Broke to the upside. Found another fair value and kept going. Where is the current shoulder? Where is the current sweep? That's the current shoulder. That's the current sweep. Right? If that doesn't hold and it breaks to the upside, what do? We continue moving again. If you understand how the box pattern, when it fails, can be an indicator, can be a pointer to the zone where you can now take entries, please type fire emoji. Let me know. Riz Undukwe said, I don't understand anything about the box strategy on higher time frame. Ask your question again in another way, sir, so I can understand what we're looking at specifically. So is this helpful to anybody? Your shoulder, your sweep, your break of structure to the downside, forming a fair value gap, 50% encroachment, 50% pullback inside that fair value gap, identifying a resistance level that has been broken and becomes a support. You know where price should hold, where the sellers should be in control. Once the sellers lose control, drop down to a lower time frame and keep looking for box patterns that keep failing, and that becomes your potential entry point. Let's break this same move down on the 15 minutes. Break this same move down on 15 minutes. Are we seeing places where box pattern failed? So right now with where we are, where is a sweep? Where is a shoulder? That's a shoulder there. That's a sweep to the downside. Now, if it breaks, where is another previous shoulder? See another shoulder. Before that shoulder, where is another shoulder that was broken? That's another shoulder you can mark there. Where is another shoulder that was broken? You can mark there. Where is another shoulder that was broken? A sweep that refused to sweep. Below that, no, look at that long rejection, exactly. The clear ones, not the ones that have a lot of ranges, the very clear ones. There, that's another shoulder. Let's see another shoulder all the way down. You've already marked it before. So if you see price get to those shoulders, and now those shoulders are acting as retest zones, you come, look at the overall big picture again, look at sentiment, and you know where to take it from. Like right now, if that shoulder holds where price is 2435, thereabout, if that shoulder holds and price wants to take off again, if it closes above those fair value gaps, that IOFED, if it closes above those two fair value gaps, then you know is moving to the upside. You just check dollar index sentiment to see if it supports the move, and then you ride it to the other side. This is how, when you have very strong trends, you can use the box pattern. All right, those of you that don't understand box pattern, we did a free training last month, I think, and the recording of that training is available for 10,000. We will do live demonstrations of this at our Abuja event coming up end of this month, 30th and 31st. All these things, you'll be able to raise up your hand and say, sorry, I have a question. Oh, sorry, and it's totally free. And then, of course, in the paid session, we have 5 free sessions, 1 paid session. In the paid session, we'll be interacting with you. Facilitators will be there. The team will be there. Your laptops will be there, opened. You can ask questions. You can say, oh, this is what I noticed. This is what I've seen. And we can discuss all of that. Apart from that, in the paid session too, everyone will get a complimentary trading bot as a bonus. And so those of you who are planning to attend, make sure, please, you attend. It's $100 using the current exchange rate. That's between around 140,000 to 150,000, but we still have early bird. We have a few more slots for early bird. Some people have paid early bird discount, almost about 40% discount. They've been able to get that. So please reach out to the team on the WhatsApp number and have those conversations with them. Don't be jumping around from strategy to strategy, concept to concept. You will not know the full potential and possibility. This box pattern is over time of using it and observing it that you realize when there is a box failure, that in itself is an indication of where price wants to go. All right. So if this has been helpful, I would like to hand over back to my guys on the floor. We're in a very strong uptrend. We're in a very strong dollar weakness regime. We're looking to see if that will continue, extend into May, June, and July, right? If that continues, then that will be the trend. You're just looking for entries all the way to the upside. With regard to CHF JPY, Yen basket is at its final bus stop where there should be a reversal. Yen basket is at its final bus stop where there should be a reversal. It's at an order block on the daily. It has tapped into, that's the order block right there that it has tapped into. This is a significant level. That level should be the last place where price should hold. Remember what we said about box pattern. If you look at this in an upside down level, that's the shoulder there. That's the upside down left shoulder. That's the upside down left shoulder. If you can zoom in and mark it, upside down left shoulder, that's the left shoulder there, exactly. That's the sweep. That's the sweep. Now we're looking at it upside down, inverse. That's the break of structure to the upside, forming a fair value gap. That's the inducement, the base, a support level. Now price has tapped and cleared the liquidity at that equal low of that base. Price has entered into the 50% encroachment of the fair value gap, right? And if you zoom in, let's zoom in some more. If you zoom in, what is that too? In that point of interest, you see another twin tower support a base there, which is a shoulder. And what is price currently now doing is sweeping the liquidity below that shoulder. So what should price now do? Price should return up, targeting that fair value gap exactly there. If price breaks this upside down box structure and closes, so let's move to the 4 hour so we can see the fair value gaps very well. You can zoom out. Exactly. So you see the fair value gap, you see that low. So if price closes below that low, let's look at that week that we've seen, that long week. Let's see the structure, if there's a fair value gap inside that week on a lower time frame, because those fair value gaps are supposed to hold. They are supposed to be key levels. They're supposed to be key levels. So let's look for the fair value gap inside that sweep. There should be a fair value gap inside that sweep. There should be a fair value gap inside that sweep. So let's check that on the 1 hour or something. Let's not, I don't think I want to go below the 1 hour. Let's zoom in and see. Let's zoom. Zoom. So do you see the fair value gap? Do you see the fair value gap inside there? So where is the lowest point? Exactly, right there. Price should not close below the low. Price should not close. So if price gets into that fair value gap, 50% of it, it should act as a support. If price gets to that other block, so do you see how we are expanding the time frame to see the order blocks and the fair value gaps? Because those are where the orders are. Price should not break below that. Now, someone can still say, oh, he wants to drill down into that week before the fair value gap. That week again, the same way I told you that there is a week, there must be a fair value gap inside that week. You can now look at this week again and go on a lower time frame, maybe 15 minutes, and search for the fair value gap inside that week again and mark it and mark the other block there. That should be the lowest level. Once price closes below it, that's box pattern failure. Mark the shoulders that have been broken and follow the trend to the downside. That means all the yen pairs, they are going back to their previous levels of decades ago. I don't know if this has made sense to anybody. Oh, you are still zooming in, Lekon. You still want to drill down. Okay, we're on the 15 minutes. Let's drill down again. Further drilling. You can see the other block there, right? So that is now the low. 5724. That's the fair value gap, and that's the low. That's the other block there. So you can now draw a line there and mark it. So even if you see price tearing down, that's the low that should hold. I don't think you should go below. There's no need going below. So 5743. 5743 is the last line of defense. If price on the yen basket closes below 5743, just know that all yen pairs to the moon, to the moon. Has this been helpful to anybody? Is this making sense to anybody? So this is how you drill down. You drill down. If you want to find the exact fair value gap and the exact level, that's why sometimes when you see news, you just see price will spike, touch a particular level. Okay, now, so if we didn't do this drilling down, we will not know 5743 is still a level. That is still a level. So now you may see price will just break to the downside, but when it gets to that other block and that fair value gap, it will just wick into it, then go back. So now if price moves down and wicks into that fair value gap and that level, and then goes back and closes above this blue line where price is right now, this 5920. So if it does a wick to the downside and then doesn't close, it just goes like boom, very quickly and comes back and closes above that blue fair value gap, just know price is going up. I don't know if this makes sense. That is all that price does. Create liquidity, sweep liquidity at key levels. It creates the liquidity, then it consumes and sweeps that liquidity at key levels. So let's draw the schematic. If you see a sharp move to the downside, tapping below there and doesn't close, price now comes back up. Even if it closes, it still starts going up and closes above 5,920. Once it does that close, you don't need to think again. Enter your trade. It doesn't even have to go that far up. Even if it just comes straight and closes above, you don't exactly from that level, you may not even see any pullback. You may not see any pullback. You may not see any pullback because it has consumed the liquidity to just keep rising to the upside. All right. But if it closes below that 5743, just know that's box pattern failure. The sweep has failed. The shoulder has failed. The fair value gap has failed. The order block has failed. Trend continues to the downside. Is this helpful or it has confused somebody? Or you already knew it before? If you knew it before, type knew it before. So if the fair value gap holds and price closes above the shoulder, it's not that is a possible return, my brother. It's not that is a possible return. It will snap up. Look at the previous place. Look at the previous level. It will snap up. It's not whether, because that means all those orders refuse to drop price. It will snap up. For example, let's zoom. See this fair value gap. Let's zoom into this fair value gap. The blue one, the origin of the blue fair value gap. The blue, thank you. Do you see that low? Do you see how price came and couldn't even get into that low and then closed above? And price just, as it closed above, price just continued to the risk. You are just coming. You can't tell me otherwise, sir. With all due respect, you are just coming. I don't think you've done two market color sessions with us. Have you, sir? Have you? Let me know. So that we know how to. So you will notice if price doesn't get to a liquidity level and close below that liquidity level, it will usually move back. It will usually just move back with force. With force. With force. Okay? So thank you very much, everyone. So keep those concepts. Once you see a chart, where is the shoulder? Where is the sweep? Where is the fair value gap that was formed after the sweep? Where is the order block from which that fair value gap originated? Mark those levels. Once you mark those levels, when price gets back to that shoulder, that order block, that fair value gap is supposed to hold. If those three don't hold and price closes beyond it, trend continuation. Thank you very much. Over to you, Lekon. Thank you for your patience. We look forward to seeing you guys. Please, please, please plan to attend. Please, please, please. We are begging you. Plan to attend. We'll tell you about psychology. We'll tell you about managing your growth in the game. We'll tell you different topics. You've seen the schedule of events. All right, come with your questions and we'll take it from there. Over to you, Lekon. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, so you've all heard about the event coming up in the city of Abuja. Make sure you are there and don't miss it. If you miss that event and you come here for TDA and you're asking us some questions, I will personally block you. So please make sure you attend the event and do all necessary to take the best of the advantage. So to meet again by 3 p.m. for the New York session of... Is the registration link now open? Yes. Sorry, we had some little technical glitch on the registration website, but it's been rectified. So you get everything. Just go straight now and register. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been resolved totally. Thank you so much. And for those who want to enroll for our ATM cash flow training, we are starting on Wednesday, and that is training on how to trade synthetic profitably. You know, peradventure, now that we are still waiting to see what's going on the currency and the likes like that, synthetic, you get your daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. So the registration is still very much up. It's just for 100,000 naira. You may want to join us, and we are expecting you just keep it up. Yes, someone is also asking any update on the publicity challenge. Yes, we are going to release the result for last week on or before 12 p.m. today. We have 2 people leading the board for today. So just watch out on every of our social media handle. Then you are going to get the update on the publicity challenge. Now, for those who are still joining us, make sure we are going to be pushing it out, the content for the publicity challenge. Share it on every of your social media handle, and at the same time, make sure you invite someone to register for the event and also come so that you can have the opportunity to win any of the stuffs there. Okay, someone said, I hope you will have something for those who might be able to. Sorry, I don't get this question. I hope you have something for those of us who might be able to afford $100. Yes, definitely. The special session for you, which is the premium session, you definitely will get. Boss already said something about it. You'll get a lot of things there. All right. So Joshua Kende, I believe you have answered your question. So you definitely will get a high value for it. And remember, one of the things we are going to be giving you in the course of that session is one of our trading bots is going to be a bonus for that session, and you get it well. Yes, definitely. So make sure you register and give it your best to attend. And in the course of the preparation, we've sent out some email, things you need to do to prepare for the event. You get point now. We have some videos on our YouTube page that you need to go through so that in the course of the training during the event, some things will be sounding strange to you. You'll be able to get everything as much as possible. Someone said, can I enroll for ATM cash flow training from the UK, please? Yes, very well. I've had challenges accessing Okta from the UK. Oh, you can reach out to us on our WhatsApp. We are going to follow through and have a personal session with you just to guide you through. Reach out to us on our WhatsApp. The number will be there in the chat box. But you can enroll for the ATM cash flow training. We have people who enroll from the UK, from Canada, also from Zimbabwe. Just make sure you register with us, reach out to us rather on the WhatsApp line there in the chat box. Someone says, will there be room to join the free training online? The free training, if you want to join online, we'll stream some, but there are some key ones that you may not see online. Definitely so. I tell you that you may not see it online. So it will be much more better. You are going to come physically if you are in Nigeria. And if you are not, you may want to pay for the premium session. When you pay for the VIP session, then you definitely will get access to everything, including the VIP session training too, and the bonuses for that. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you very much. So TA will be expecting your chat. Just reach out to us in the chat box in our WhatsApp line. You are going to see the contact in the chat box now for our WhatsApp. So reach out to us. We are going to guide you through how you are going to enroll for the ATM cash flow and also how you are going to take advantage of the Okta process now. All right, we'll meet again by 3 p.m. for the New York recap of the market color. I remain Lekon Shiemi. Cheers and God bless.